Hey guys, coming on tonight. Hope you're blessed and not stressed. I'm coming on tonight. I can't wait till I can do a live, and I know that I can get closer and closer with all of your support. I just want to say to all the people that showed me love in the last videos, thank you so much. I'm getting out of the small potato section of YouTube with all of your help. But the only reason I really want to do it is because I want to start doing lives. So the more you guys can help me out, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you can. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to start subscribing to everyone. I'm like going to do this tonight or tomorrow. So just letting you know, please know that I am so grateful for every like and share and subscribe that I get. So please don't forget to do it if you haven't already. But today I'm going to be talking about how for those of us chosen, for those of us out there that are doing the thing, you know what I mean? We have this shine about us that we can't lie about. And the thing is, it's because it's within us. It's something that we just are. It's something that we just is. It's something that we just am. And I know I'm just sounding like I'm being grammatically incorrect here, but it's kind of the best way I could describe the feeling of what it is to be what you are, or that you are. Um, the thing of the shine that is within all of us is something that is endowed to us by God. It's something that we have that intercommitted understanding of who we are within God. And if you are someone who is looking outside of yourself for this shine, this part of yourself that needs to illuminate outwards to the world, or this God self that is within you and within all of us, I would definitely take a look at what I'm going to be talking about today, because for those of us that do understand it, you know that it's part of you and there's not much you can do about it. And it's just a great thing because you are who you are. But if you're someone who's not piecing it together yet, or still at the precipices, or still trying to figure that whole part of it out, I hope that this helps, because I'm going to try to break it down as best as I can, because realistically it starts off with loving yourself. That's the first topic. For some of us that are on this path, I can honestly see the way we found our way to loving ourselves, because we were so easily charming and able to just like give love to everybody, but we had the hardest time giving it to ourselves. You know what I mean? So as time went on, and as God showed us who we are within ourselves, we started to realize that there's only one way, and it's up. And the reason why is because most of us, and I think like myself, we went through some pretty self-discovering hardships through our time. And I think realistically, when people are always saying, oh, why does God do this? Realistically, hardships are sometimes the best way to learn of who you are. If you haven't suffered hardship, then you probably haven't learned much. In hardship, you do tend to find who you are at that moment when everything is taken away. And for those of you out there that know what I'm talking about, you get it. But if you haven't had many hardships, sometimes hardships are what you need to really connect with that love within oneself. Like for myself, for those of you that have been watching me for time, you know that I stepped away from a nuclear family situation. I lost, that I had the house, I lost the car, the money, the partner. I kept my beautiful son, which was the best part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I can honestly say my kid is the toughest and best soul I've ever met, simply because if you don't adopt to this type of thinking, I do. I truly feel like we decide who our family members are before we come in. And I can see that my son is the first man to ever give himself to me as a beautiful star of sunshine that he is. So I love my son to death. I just had to put that out there. But I can honestly say that when that tragic moment happened in my life, it brought me so close to me, because I was like, wow, after all this, I'm still standing. I'm still here. The little engine that could is still inside beating in my heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's like come to Jesus moments that you have in your life help you realize the love you have for yourself. So don't ever look at like negative situations always in and get stuck in that victim mentality, because on the other flip side of that victim mentality is triumphancy. If you can be triumphant in the darkest times, if you can be triumphant in the darkest moments, that's where you truly shine. That's where you truly make the most sense. That's your connecting moment with y'all, because you're like, wow, I'm getting through this. I'm outrageously magical. I'm getting through this. You probably never went through things that tragic or that horrifying, and maybe you have. Some of us can raise our hands to that, but some of us are still navigating it. And I just want to see that you have to really see that those are the moments that help you shine the most. So for me, that was my moment. And I honestly feel like if you're someone who's still out there trying to go places to try to find oneself, I just want to give you this sentiment. You are always where you are. Like I'm here right now. I'll be here if I go to the bathroom. I'll be there if I go to bed. I'll be there if I go to the corner store. I'll be there if I go to Japan. You are always where you are. So the thing is like, if you think about it this way, you can't really lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're always there. So you will always realize that whatever it is that you're looking for is all within you already. That's the trick of it all. You really don't have to go anywhere. And I hope that helps, because loving oneself, I mean, some of us are already innately like that. But for those of us that had to strive and gain that type of training through this type of life, you realize that in those darkest moments, that's where you truly shine. You realize in those times where you really thought you couldn't get through it, you did, and you persevered through another day. You were there too, and that's the beautiful shine of it all. And I just wanted to bring that up, because realistically, God hired you, so who's gonna fire you? You know what I'm saying? The next thing I wanted to talk about is that if you are someone who is always illuminating positivity, or you're always somebody who naturally does this, you transmuted a lot of pain and suffering maybe in your life, and for some reason that has a very positive and beautiful effect, because you don't really take things so seriously anymore. You really, people shoot out hate at you all day, you're like, I love you. Like you just get to the point where you're just like, I need to expel more goodness out to this world than I do, sucking in like a sponge. You just got to deflect it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get through things. Realistically, how you can build up that type of defense is by playing and being the way you want to be, and dance like no one's watching, play like no one's watching, because this sentiment was something that took me a long time to realize, and it took me to go through these pitfalls in my life, these burning mistakes that we call mistakes, but really they're not. But either way, I digress. Play like no one's watching, because seriously, for all serious intent here on this channel, no one is gonna be there for every moment in your life. That is the honest truth. No one's there for you but you. I mean, yeah, sure, you got your family. Yeah, sure. But when you're crying those tears in your pillow, right? There's not a friend right there with a Kleenex. You know what I'm saying? So you really do go through life in your own view, your own way. So you should always act as if, you know what I'm saying? Because realistically, when you're having fun with your own self in your own life and realizing that you don't have to overprocess and overthink things, because you're still going to be there regardless of what the outcome is, you start to have more fun with yourself and you act as if, really and truly, because that's what is you to do. It's your shine. It's what you are. You're not going to always be bogged down by what others are thinking or what others are doing, because they're not in your life and they're not helping you with anything in your life. And that's the honest truth. So why are you going to care about what others think? If you want to have a good time, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the world get you down because of what others think. That's basically what it stems to. Play like no one's watching, because no one gives a fuck about your life as much as you do. I'll tell you that much. That's a great sentiment. I'm being honest. Believe truly in what you can do. This was another nugget of truth that, for those of you that are out there that are like, what does that mean? All of us are unique. We're all a bunch of snowflakes out here. That's something that took me a long time to realize. I always used to hear it all the time. People would be like, oh, you're kind of different. You're kind of whatever. And I used to think of that as a negative thing. But then as time went on, I was like, you know what? No, I'm always trying to block that part of myself. I'm always trying to change who I am to fit some mold. And it was excruciating. You know what I'm saying? It's like, ugh. It was always putting pressure and damage on my sense of self. And if you're doing that, it's doing that to you too. And I guarantee it, I'd put money on that. So the thing is like, at the end of the day, like, you have to be as comfortable in your own skin. Do what you are good at. Find out what it is. You already know what it is. We all know what it is. Deep down inside, we know what it is. And the thing is that once you let that out of yourself and not give two flying aces, deuces in the wind to everyone out there, you start to realize that that was always who you were from the beginning. And the thing is that every other layer you put upon yourself was really just a facade, was really just a mask so that you could mold into what others wanted you to be. But really and truly, that was never going to be what your shine was about. That was always going to be the facade. The shine is in you. The shine is who you are. The shine is what God gave you. So let it bring forth. Be who you are at all points in time. And never forget it. Because that can't be taken away from you. What can be taken away from you is only possible when you take it away from yourself. So please always understand, the shine is you. You are the shine. And the last thing I want to say to always keep that shine going is always think of this. Don't hate, always congratulate. Because in this world out there, there's one thing, people keep talking about manifestation. How do I manifest? What do I need to do? Here's another part about manifestation. If you are projecting lack onto people, because that's really what hate is. It's a form of lack, some representation of lack. Either the person generating hate out is lacking in some way, and the person deflecting the hate is having to repel that lack in some way. So the thing is that why I say don't ever hate and always congratulate is because in this world, no matter who you are, if you are showing any type of jealousy, hatred, animosity towards what somebody's bringing forth into the world, and you are by definition that hater, you're really just lacking in some way, and that's where the hatred comes from. So the thing is, what you're putting out to the universe is that you feel that you're going to always be in a lack mindset. So that's why you're not getting forth that shine that other person has that you're hating on. So really take a look at yourself and say to yourself, am I jealous of this person? Do I hate on what they have? Because that's really what brings that shine out of you. If you can actually say to yourself, you know what, I kind of am. But there's something out there for me. I know there's a piece of that pie out there for me, because we don't live in a world of lack. Telling yourself you do and hating on others is a way to know that you're not shining because you still lack. So don't ever think, if you congratulate, you put out that forth of abundance to people, you get full that abundance back. So even look at it in that perspective as well. If you have a hard time, if you're someone who's coming out of, let's say, some type of breakdown of that, because, you know, some of us are brought up that way. And I'm no shade on that, because trust me, I came from some backgrounds that like to talk a little gib or gab about everyone and everything, so I totally get it. But the thing is that what you find is that when you keep doing that, you're actually not focused on what you can do. You're actually not focused on what you can bring forth. And you're more focused on what someone else is doing. So you're taking that lack away from yourself. You're spending the energy on someone else. You're putting forth that type of emotion towards someone else instead of making yourself better so that you don't have to feel that way. That's what I mean about lack. So if you literally are out there and you're like, how do I build up my shine? What do I got to do to be more of me, be more of myself, the truest version of self I have inside? My suggestion is to always show that brilliance through love, and to always show that love to others, because realistically, that's what's going to permeate. That's what's going to make a change. And if you are still someone who's timid in your heart and you feel like you're lacking some way or shape or form, and you don't feel like you're good enough, just know that's always a state of mind, and it will pass too. But realize that you can always change in every moment and say, you know what? Kudos to those people. Kudos to them. I'm glad that they're achieving. You know why? Because that means I can achieve. And that's where you need to be. That's where the mindset has to go. So I hope this helped, guys. Let that shine come out. Let it be you. Let the you come through. And I guarantee that God is in you and you are God. So the thing is that that's where God's going to be found, when you are at your most brilliant you. And that's all I have to say. Have a good night. If you do like, please subscribe, please share. Do the dance. Do the thing. Do the damn thing. Love you lots. Bye for now.